Hello and welcome once again to MESA Construction, where we discuss all things engineering, architecture, and 3D modeling. Today, we will be learning on AutoCAD how to create blocks and how to create dynamic blocks, and we'll be using a model of this 1200 window. But before further ado, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel to encourage us to keep making videos like this, and also you could like and comment on our videos to let us know what you think and what we can do to serve you better. Thanks. Now let's get into the video. So we have this 1200 window right here. And what we want to do is we want to convert this into block. In order to convert this into block, what you need to do is to go to your insert. Then before we click on create block, we can highlight this like this. Then we go to create block and we give it a name. We can name it window. Let me name it window 2. Then here you are given the option to specify your base point on screen, which is going to be the origin of your block, and you could choose to pick points right away. So I'll go for pick point right away, and I'll select this point, and it brings me back here. So every other setting here, I'm going to be leaving it exactly the way it is, and then I click OK, and then I have my block here. So that's how to create a block. Now what we want to do is we want to make this block an interactive block, a dynamic block. And how do we do that? We go to block editor and then we click OK. And here, what we want to do is that we want this 1200 window to be able to fit into any other dimension of windows made available on our plan. If it's 1500, if it's 1800, we want this window to be as interactive as possible to be able to fit into it by just minimum adjustment. In order to do that, we need to add a linear parameter so that we'll be able to move this, increase the dimensions of this, increase the length or decrease the length. So if I want to do that, what I'll do is I add the linear parameter right here, and I can choose this point to be my first point. I can also choose this point to be then I'll bring it down here. So now choosing that, I'll have to add an action to this parameter, and the action I'll be adding to it is stretch action. And what this does is that it helps me to be able to move my length back and forth. So I need to specify what parameter the stretch action is going to be acting upon, and that's my distance. So I click this, and here it pops up demanding me to pick my first point and second point. So I'm going to pick my point here. Then I also need to draw my stretch frame, and I want my stretch frame to be something like this. Yeah, so this is my stretch frame, and it asks me to pick object. So I'm going to pick object. I'll select this object, I'll select this, and I'll select this, select this. I want this to remain static, so that I can always pull my object. So now I'll go and press enter, and we can go and test our blocks to see if what we have done is exactly what we intended to do. And when you click on this, you see that you have this stretch action button here, and if you pull this, you see we can change this into a 600 window. We can also increase it to become a 1800 window, and you see, and you can turn it back to the 1200 window as it was initially. So now once we add another parameter, and the parameter I'll be adding here now is the flip parameter. So I want the window to be able to flip up and flip down, and also flip side and flip to the other side. So in order to do that, we'll go parameter, then we'll click on flip. So we mark our point of origin. So I want this to be my point of origin. Then I want it to flip, and I can click anywhere to be my flip state. I can make this my flip state 1, Then I go to the action. The action associated with this flip is flip. And I clicked my flip state 1. Then it asks me to select object. I'm going to select the whole object. Then I'll press enter. Let's go and test our block to see if what we did was what we intended to do. So when we click this, you see it has flipped up and it's flipping down. As you can see, it flips up and it flips down. So now what we want to do is we want it to flip sideways. What we need to do is that we need to add another flip parameter. So go back here. We had a flip parameter. So I'm going to make the flip parameter a vertical one. Let's add it from here to here. So I can create flip state 2 here, somewhere around here. So let's go and add action to it. So the action is going to be acting on our flip state 2. Yeah. So now we need to select object, we select everything. Then we press enter. Then let's go and test the block again to see if what we did was what we intended to do. This is our flip state 2. Can you see what is given us? So it's exactly what we intended to do. It's flipping our window from side to side. So we have that. Now we want to add one more parameter to this, and it's going to be a rotate parameter. So we're going to add the rotate parameter to this. Now we'll go, we select rotate. Then we put the rotation here. It asks us what we want the base angle to be. We want it to be 0. So press enter. Then we go to our action. And then we click rotate. Then we choose the angle parameter for it to work on. Then we select objects. We want all the objects to rotate. So we press enter. You could actually manipulate the properties of this angle, like the angle type to increment or list, which will give you other options, but I think I prefer it like this. And we can go right away to test our blocks to see if what we did is actually what we intended to accomplish. And when you go here, you see that we can rotate this. You can rotate it in different angles, and you can also type your angles. You can type your angles, and you have that. So I think I'm pleased with this, and I think it's okay. So I'll go and press close, and then I save this block right here. I save changes to the block, and I close. And I go back to my workspace, and here I can always make my block to become what I need it to be in my architectural plan. This is this for now concerning making dynamic blocks, interactive blocks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.